I don't really have the agenda in front of me, but it only has two things on it. And I think the first one is the window dressers. Is that correct?
Window dressers and community solar. Yeah.
Well, I could give you a little update, or you could, Sally, but
Oh, go for it, Stephen.
you know everything I know.
Then we get to look at your lead.
Maybe you even know more, but anyways, Richard, we are essentially underway, and we measured our first home yesterday. As a group, we actually have 6 measurers, and we were fortunate to have one large home offered up by a Bristol resident for us to measure 21 windows.
Wow.
And so we broke into 3 teams of 2, and it was the first time measuring for, let's see, well, 4 of the people, and Sally and I had done it before, but we now have 3 teams of 2 to go forth and measure, and already 21 windows measured. So one minor clarification I might make. I saw your notes that came through from the last meeting, which I think I missed. We do have a good group of core volunteers for the leadership positions, but we don't really have a volunteer coordinator. So if anybody happened to come along who wanted to be a volunteer coordinator, that job really swings into importance as the workshop draws near and we need to schedule work shifts. But I don't think, do we have a volunteer coordinator, Sally?
Well, I don't think we do, but I think I did say that since I'll probably be done with outreach at that point and measuring, that I could do something with work shifts, you know, if we were having,
okay,
you know, I could help out with that. You know, certainly if someone else wants to get involved, that's great, but.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, I guess I missed that too, and I apologize for that.
Well, it's okay. I think I was just kind of quiet about it. Wasn't sure if I was really on board, but I feel like
it's a good approach.
Yeah, I'm feeling more confident now to go with that.
Yeah, okay. What else I can let you know, Richard, and anyone else who might be following up and watching, that we, as a group, I don't know, did you go through the Beeman School project aspect of the before, Sally?
We didn't really talk much about it at all.
Okay. We have a grant in place for including the Beeman School, which has very large, very drafty windows, and very many of them. And they are interested in trying out window inserts. We've looked at the feasibility. It's challenging a little bit because they're so big. They're literally 8 feet tall and 4.5 feet wide.
Can you get plastic that wide?
Yeah, they can do it. They have large plastic.
Okay.
So we have put together a proposal for, well, I say we prepared a proposal, and the school district applied for a grant to make it possible to do 2 classrooms and a bunch of other windows in the school. And so we don't know whether we'll get that, but if we get that, that would constitute a substantial part of our project this year. It would be about the equivalent of, I think, what did I say, Sally? 55 inserts.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. That is a lot. And it'll be interesting to work with those sizes. You know, we'll need to put tables together to have a flat surface that's big enough and stuff.
Yeah,
it
will be a little bit of a challenge, I think. Yeah.
That's a New Haven.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's on North Street, just not far from the center. Yeah.
You said equaling 50 windows.
roughly.
roughly?
Okay. Well, it's not 50 windows, but it's 50 separate inserts because the big windows need to be two pieces. It's way too big. They could never manage an 8-foot tall by 4.5-foot wide insert.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hello, Mike.
Hello. Sorry, a little late.
It's okay. Stephen was
Okay,
sharing stuff that you already know. But we were just talking about Beeman. Stephen was talking about the Beeman School part of window dressers.
Well, we'll fingers crossed for that grant. We don't know. Did you get that message, Sally? What was the total amount of money available? Was like
I don't remember seeing-
$20,000 for the whole grant program, and they had applications for 70,000. So
Oh,
we'll see.
yeah. Well, I hope that the school figures out to do it anyway because they will save money over time.
Right. Yeah.
What would this project cost?
What would it cost?
Yeah, what have you asked for?
4,000.
Wow, that's a bargain.
Yeah. But we'd have to round up a lot of volunteer labor to really, that's just for, all the supplies and materials. We would still need to provide the volunteer labor.
Yeah, sure. Have you thought about doing that part at the school, or would all be at Holly Hall?
That's an interesting thought. No, I think because of all the different jigs for applying the tape and
Yeah.
the plastic and all, those are all set up at the Holly Hall. I think we do it there.
Yeah. Oh, that really sounds ambitious and cool.
Yeah. Yep. Could be good.
Another thing that just came up around window dressers is that there are a number of builds happening in Vermont that are all brand new people. And so they need mentors. And so Stephen and I have been asked to kind of figure out how we might be able to help out mentor some of the other folks since we've done it before. Actually, Mike has done some too, but anyway, and so we're kind of thinking about that. And I just wrote to Jessica asking her exactly where the different builds are happening and what the schedule is so that we can find the most convenient way for us to help. And I'm thinking that if we were able to go to a first time, like the first build that's happening down there, and be there to help show them how to set everything up and then go through building some, then all the others could come to that to see that setup, and then they'd be able to start. And once that first group did it and completed it, then they can be mentors to the other people in the South.
That's good thinking, Sally. I like that.
All right.
It'd be interesting to see what the schedule is down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
And the other thing is oh yeah, right. Yeah, ours is kind of late, so they'll probably be doing something earlier than us. I'm not sure, really.
Well, maybe a bunch of us could go who, participated in the last one and be there to
Yeah,
assist. Depending on when it is, I'd be willing to go.
that's great. That'd be awesome. Let's see, do we have anything else on window dressers? All right. Any questions?
I guess the only thing would be to keep letting people know about it and passing out the marketing cards and encourage them to call if they're interested in possibly jumping in.
Yeah, right. The outreach needs to crank up a little bit. That's me.
Yeah, we are a little, I don't know, actually I haven't talked with Maggie lately. Maybe Sally, but I think generally we haven't had a whole lot of signups in Bristol so far. I'm not sure about that.
Stephen,
I think
So,
that's true.
yeah.
Yes.
We have this avenue to communicate through Neat TV and our meetings. What if you were to bring in your sample and do a little spiel on this is what we do and show it, because maybe a few people in the community do watch this, and
Yeah,
they might pick up on that and say, hey.
I would do that. And I do have a sample insert here, but unfortunately my camera isn't working, so I
Yeah.
can't do it. But maybe Sally could do it.
I have a sample here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm not on camera. I apologize for that. It's a good idea.
I think I need to walk around a little more to town. I've done a little bit with the businesses, and in fact, Stephen, did Joe Nelson call you by any chance? He has a building.
Maybe. Why? Oh, he has a building?
He has a building that a couple businesses, well, a number of businesses are in his building, and he has the front windows facing the street. Could use inserts for sure, and they'd be probably double because they're wide.
Okay.
But the problem is the landing is a little weird. You know, there isn't a 90-degree corner. And
Yeah.
so he wanted to talk to you, or I suggested a contractor, and he said, well, I know Stephen. I'm going to call Stephen.
Okay.
So
I'll call him. I'll follow up with
okay,
him.
great.
And it's
Because-
possible his call, but I will. That's interesting. Yeah. Which building is, or which?
It's the two stores are the Simon Says, and
Okay.
the one that is even more wanting things is Flower Shop next door.
Okay. So the flower shop and Simon Says.
Whatever it's called, the Flower Shop.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take a look.
So, yeah, we've looked a few times at them, and I showed him what things wouldn't work and what needed to happen, but I said I don't know what a contractor would need to do to fix that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe you could tell if it's possible. You know, there's like a round
I should think it would be probably.
molding, and
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds like duct tape to me.
yeah, it needs to be a solid, duct tape for some areas, but then you need a solid landing for the window insert.
Which might be not that big a deal to.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's not that big of a deal for someone who knows.
Leave the existing trim in place and put something in over it that is orthogonal to the window, you know, perpendicular.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the folks in that flower shop, Danny and her husband, I forgot his name. It's like Randall or Ryan or something like that. They're really psyched about buttoning it up. They really want.
Oh, okay.
To it up.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also spoke with across the street, the jewelry. Ricky is the main jeweler, and Audrey Beckwith is his partner, Audrey. And there's a window back there that definitely needs an insert, and it also has a little bump on it, which I feel like maybe it's something that can just be pried off and doesn't need to be there. So hopefully they'll want to go ahead with that. I think we could do one there.
Okay, I'll take a look. I'll try to take a look next time I'm in downtown.
Okay, great, thanks. And otherwise, I'll get on. I've been meaning to put a front porch forum thing in the last few days, but then I ended up needing to put other ones in, so I didn't yet. But I'll put another front porch forum in and get out there on the street with the old window.
Richard and Mike, do either of you want some of the marketing cards that you could hand out to neighbors or people you bump into around town? Because we can supply those.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, then let's see. I'll put 5 or 10 together for each of you and drop them off at your homes. Probably simplest.
That'd be fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Great, thanks.
Good idea.
I was also thinking that there's nothing like just going into a house and just talking about it with them, like I did with store owners. So I feel like I want to offer that. Just say, hey, if you're at all interested, I'd love to just stop by and talk with you about it in your house, so I can show you what I mean and we can look at it. It wouldn't be an official measuring visit, but just sort of a little more of a introduction where they look at their windows and we're talking together and they kind of get more of a sense whether it'd be worth doing or not.
I think that's a great
It's
idea,
like my
Sally.
internet's-
Sally. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
I actually did that our first time around. I spent an afternoon walking around talking to neighbors on my block.
Great.
And I think I got a couple people to actually sign up, but yeah, that can work.
Great.
Is there any, I had this thought of setting up a little kiosk in some business in town, kind of like what we used to do in middle school for the science fair, and have literature posted and some stuff to take, and have a couple of examples of the windows, some place that people would just walk by and maybe take notice.
Yeah, that might be interesting.
Wonder if Bristol Cliffs Cafe would do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the business folks in town very well. Who would be a good, what about, I'm drawing a blank here, Mr. Albertson.
Albertson.
Ian.
Oh, Ian.
Yeah.
Oh, Ian Albinson. Yeah.
I wonder if Ian can help us with that. I mean, he's very well connected with the businesses.
I could ask him. He's my neighbor.
You might have some recommendations about, where we might set up. We might be amenable.
So you mean just setting up stuff, but not having a person there?
No, just people could actually see what they are and have contact information there and some of the cards and so on.
I've got that one kind of model with a stand that we could put in and actually tape information to it.
Yeah, your sample, right.
Yeah. That way we wouldn't be taking Stevens, because you might need it for other purposes, making videos and going to the Welcome Center on I-89.
Yeah, I'll jump right on those.
Yeah. Every time I stop at one, I sit in the Vermont Folk Rocker.
Yes.
I bet he sells a bunch of them that way.
Yeah. I was just thinking about something else and now it is gone. Something about window dressers.
One of the issues, I've been kind of scrolling Main Street businesses, and somebody would have to have a little bit of space, and many of them are pretty packed.
Yeah.
Bristol might be the answer.
Yeah, we went around all those businesses with Energy Efficiency Vermont, Brad Long. He and I went around and, talked to all the businesses about weatherization and all that. And I was able to bring window dresser stuff there too. So it was good to talk to people about that to some degree. but there wasn't much room anywhere. Yeah, you're right. People have their place set just the way they want it for, promoting their business. And there's not a lot of space or anything. I remembered what I was, Stephen, we talked about remeasuring the house that we just did.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to do that. So Mike, while you're here, I just want to find out if I can get the
I was just
measure.
going to run for my cord. I'm afraid I'm running out of juice here.
Okay.
What was the question, Sally?
I just wanted to see if I can get that measurer from you so that I can do the measuring over at the house we just did.
Sure.
I've got to go back and remeasure a few things. And besides, I need to bring her cucumbers, which I promised.
Good. Yeah. You know where I am. Come on by.
Okay, so I'll come by and knock on your door, and and maybe leave it somewhere in case you're not home or something like that, so that
I'll send you an email as to where I'm going to put it.
Okay, thanks so much, Mike.
All right.
All right, I'm glad we got into the depth of window dressers for a bit. Shall we move on to anything else? I mean, the next was just the solar thing, which is pretty much wrapped up, but anything else with window dressers?
Not that I can think of, Sally.
Okay. All right, so the next one is just about the solar, Bristol Community Solar, and that is pretty much all taken, except for the Middlebury vote hasn't happened yet. I forgot what day it's going to be.
It's August 31st, I think.
Okay, right.
30th or 31st.
Do you want to share anything about it, Richard?
Well, we know that this Friday, letters are going to go out to all the people who have subscribed, giving them their final instructions and final information about how much money they still owe and where to send it. And the closing is going to be on, I believe, on September 11th. So all the money has to be in prior to that. And they're hoping it gets in by the 8th. And then there'll be the closing. It's kind of amazing. I did a quick calculation the other day, and they are going to take the checks, I think, down to the Bank of Middlebury, and they're going to total them and deposit them. And if you really think about all of the participants, and they're going to be depositing well over $1 million. So, we tend to see this thing as a well, this cost me $7,000 or whatever, but this is a big project.
Yeah.
And then the construction will begin toward the end of the month. My understanding is the solar panels have already been purchased, and well, they expect to go pretty quick in the month of October, with commissioning at the end of the year if everything goes well. So it's real.
Yeah.
And that's regardless right now of whether the town of Middlebury is able to participate. If the voters approve it, fine. They'll take the last 12 to 15%. If not, there's a waiting list.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, great news.
Yeah.
I've got one other item. I don't know if you saw it, Sally. You had put out.
I did.
You had put out a notice about the electric car event in Middlebury that's going to be run by Green Mountain Power. But Freeman Corey is with Green Mountain Power, is also interested in doing an event in Bristol on a weekend, and I suggested to him that maybe the Harvest Festival would be a really ideal time. So we'll see what he says. This just went on today. So we might have electric vehicles in, well, we will have them in Bristol, but one opportunity might be the Harvest Festival. There'll be a lot of foot traffic. Another one might be, I had sent information about the National Solar Tour on October 2nd and 3rd. That's something that's been going on for a long time. I used to participate in Western New York 10 years ago. And it's really a time when people open their solar facilities, homes and businesses. And we might do a deal, Acorn Community Energy or Solar Co-op might do a deal down at the installation, kind of introduce the public to the actual start of the project on that weekend. So maybe have electric cars down there. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
There's some interesting possibilities.
Yeah, definitely. I read it all, the stuff you sent, Richard, and I was very interested in it. And yeah, I October 2nd and 3rd because it could dovetail with the solar thing. However, yeah, there'd be more visibility at the Harvest Fest. However, all those spots are totally taken and they're used by people coming to the festival. So it's really hard to be snagging any of those spots along there, but maybe something nearby we could get parking at.
Well, we might be able to reserve some parking spots, or maybe the bank parking lot across the street or something.
Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe the bank. Maybe the bank would be willing to be a part of it. They'd be willing to let us use that, and it would be, I don't know, something useful for them to support. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, it's a possibility.
Yeah, sounds great. Who do you think we should talk to about having that happen? Probably Harvest Fest people and wherever we might want them to be, like the bank or something.
I think we have to wait to get a bit of feedback from Green Mountain Power.
Oh, okay.
If they actually, if any of those dates appeal, the 25th or the 2nd.
Okay. Did you put something out to Corey?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Great.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
And then I copied the Acorn folks as well. So.
Oh, that's right. That's what I was getting, was that your communication, right?
Yeah.
Great. All right. Thanks for doing that.
Maybe the next month's agenda, we should include the Harvest Festival for sure. Maybe. Actually, that's going to be pretty late.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's talk about it right now.
Time is flying.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, so I did sign up for a table. So we've got a place on the green somewhere. Somewhere near where we usually have it, I think.
What's the date, Sally?
September 25, Saturday.
see.
September 25.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep, there it is, great. Well, we can certainly talk a little about window dressers there if we haven't. Well, we'll be able to talk about something, whether it's getting people to sign up for their volunteer time or just show them, because we'll probably do it another year as well. Or maybe there'll still be room for signups.
Yeah, there would be if, given that date, a narrow window for people to still sign up and get measured. Because I think by, what is it, October 16th or so, somewhere mid-October, we have to send our cut list. We have to send our final list to
Okay.
window dressers. So there's a narrow window, but
Yeah.
it would be great to set something up and promote the project and possibly market a little bit too.
And besides window dressers, that's just one thing that usually the button-up folks have something going on and have stuff for us either to hand out or talk about as far as how to deal with weatherization. I'm not really sure what button-up is thinking about yet.
Yeah,
What,
they've sent out some stuff and I haven't had a chance to look at it. Also, we certainly can celebrate the Bristol Solar Project
yeah,
and make people who delayed and equivocated feel really bad.
I think it'll be exciting just to talk about the window dressers too, just so that
Yeah.
people realize it's a great thing. It's full this year, and maybe it'll happen again next year. I don't want to commit ourselves to it like that, but just let people know it's a great thing. Whether we're doing it or another town nearby does it, it's really worth doing.
I think we should make a real effort during the project to identify and massage possible future leaders of the window dressers project. Because there are people who show up and work and get kind of excited, and if we can, move them along, that's always every organization, that's the problem. How do you get the next generation of volunteers?
Yeah, good point. So at our build this year, really, connect well with all the people who are doing that work.
Yeah.
And see if they'd be willing, to be more of a part of window dressers the following year while they're all excited.
I think it makes sense because
Yep.
I saw it written on. I think that was one other requirement for capital, and if it wasn't, it would certainly.
Sally, Stephen, do either of you know, or Richard, does window dressers, have they ever done a pre and post blower test on a house that's installed these windows?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be such a powerful visual thing if indeed they work as well as we believe they do.
That'd be a really great idea.
Yeah, that is interesting. I wonder, I somehow I'd be a little bit surprised if they haven't done something like that, but I don't know that they have. So it's worth an inquiry. Let's ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we had a good candidate house, I wonder if we could make an arrangement to have that happen. I wonder if Button Up would help us. Or,
Yeah, good point. And if it hasn't been done and we don't have that, we should maybe do it this year.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we keep that in mind as we measure people's homes. I mean, I think a good candidate would be one where they have pretty leaky windows and they
Yes.
want to do a substantial percentage of them, and they're open to the idea of a pre and a post test.
Yeah.
But then, so if we could identify a house like that, that would be great, and then see if we could line up getting that done. Someone with a blower door and the training to do that.
That sounds great.
I think we ought to look into that. I can contact Efficiency Vermont and see if they have any interest in participating in that.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. Maybe Matt would.
Yeah.
He's an advisor to our group. Maybe he would like it done at his house. He could probably use it
Oh.
at his place.
So unlikely to go into.
You know, I was thinking if we could get Efficiency Vermont to sponsor a full free energy audit, I'm sorry, for that house, then that would be a pre and post.
Hired and you're.
I'll talk to him.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's an excellent idea.
It's just the ebb and flow down this, the ebb and flow. Sometimes you feel.
There's a lot of background noise.
Yeah, who's got a TV on in there?
Oh, I'm sorry, that may be me. I may need to move.
If you just mute yourself while you're not talking.
Yeah, yes, that's a good point.
By going in and realizing.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
So are there any other things we want to do at the Harvest Fest, do you think?
Well, we'll get information from Efficiency Vermont. They always have handouts. I don't know if they're doing little giveaways this year or not. When I talk to them, I'll see what's going on.
Okay.
I still have a small box of goodies that I can bring for that or make available in one way or another.
Great.
Great.
Yeah, maybe.
Weather stripping and foam and stuff like that. Light bulbs even, I think, too.
Great. All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about today? I wrote roundtable in there in case we wanted to just think about other things, but
I think we've got a full plate right now.
great. I do too.
Richard, just one quick note. You were going to get in touch with Matt Sharp on this idea?
Yeah.
Let him know. I have not forgotten that he was interested at a late hour in our last workshop in getting a couple of inserts.
Okay.
And invite him to sign up this time around if he's still interested.
Okay.
I could do that too because I'm the outreach person. I'd be glad to do that.
Great.
Okay.
Whoever.
We'll reinforce each other.
Either way. Yeah, right. We'll come from either side. And
if you want to stay on Zoom tonight at 8 o'clock, the Sierra Club's having one of their conversations on water quality in Vermont.
that's great. I used to always go to those and I haven't in a while.
They're always conflicting. I have so many Wednesday night meetings.
Yeah.
But, this will work out.
Yeah. Well, we can wrap it up now so you have a few minutes between your meetings if you want.
Bathroom break. Yeah.
Anything else before we sign off?
I will get the notes out much quicker. They're almost done.
Oh, great. I'm just so glad you do it. It's awesome.
It's not
Thank
a big deal.
All right. Well, thanks for showing up, everyone. And I'm excited that we've had some good projects and we've made some good progress and we're continuing to move along with energy stuff in town.
Yep.
So.
Yeah,
thanks
thank
so
you
much.
all. It's a good meeting. Thank you.
See you all next time, if not before.
All right. See you around town.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, good night.
Good night.